in from Monte Nuevo all the way towards Puerto Pareso. So an opportunity if
See the teams now just kind of snowballing it, right? Just jumping at the opportunities, just picking up head after head. But now it's going to be Ora Thunder and the players here from Seoul Esports looking to get this lovely southern edge of Los Leones under lockdown. But, I mean, as we can see, Hamco is somewhat isolated. We are going to be waiting to see if the reinforcements, if the cavalry will arrive in time to bring in that assistance. I mean, Seoul, they've got a decent positioning here, but it's going to be still a little bit of a challenge here for Weiss now to try and secure that elimination.
Yeah, looking at this, what can they do in this situation? Hamco with a shotty in hand is at least does have a little bit of firepower to work with, but when you're in a 1v2 scenario, I don't know how much that shotty is going to be able to do. So gonna have to take this one slow and methodical to see how they could get themselves out of the situation, or potentially how they could pick up those 1v1 scenarios, because if they can isolate those 1v1s, then they might have an opportunity here to get out of the situation and pick up some much needed eliminations.
I mean, it's going to be absolutely essential for them, right? You want to try and keep, you know, the longevity as real as you can manage it. But, I mean, Weiss is going to be sending through that very first nade. Hamco now having to reposition. But fortunately for Hamco, right, they've got a shotty, as we know. Shotty, absolutely devastating. Oh, especially at close quarters. And now Rauf just trying to ride the edge, not wanting to fall victim to that shotty straight on. But Hamco now going to be using this opportunity to get themselves out of the slightly sticky situation, but essentially Hemo says, you know what, thanks. It was a nice try, but, you know, I'll stop you right there.
Yeah, just holding the flanking line. So Seoul Esports, they had that plan up and cooked up and ready to execute it. They were just waiting for Hamco to make their move, and
anybody really in the vicinity for the time being. Falcons are a little bit slightly more towards the centered zone, held up in towards Hacienda del Patron, so I don't think they're going to be any immediate threat. At least not for now, for the R8 esports team. We could potentially see the players there from Kurdistan starting with a bit of a...
Which, I mean, they have an ability to do, then they unfortunately would be left alone to, you know, take on the fight, take on that engagement. So they might be laying low just for the time being. Where you are, maybe they heard it, maybe they didn't. But for now, they will just keep that information in check.
Yeah, you got to do your due diligence, right? As we look to see the zone being absolutely saturated with teams all over the place. We still, of course, see Titans all the way down towards that southern edge, and this is no different approach coming through from them, right? We know Titans like to sip on a little bit of that blue juice before starting to roll in towards the zone. And looking at where the zone is going to be taking us...
Sports, they are looking for a little bit of that opportunity here.
And it's going to be quite an important position now as we quickly jump over towards the players here from Falcons. So you can see them still trying to play towards this northern territory. There's going to be players here from Kurdistan up on the front line on the receiving end. As so many formidable positions being held. But it's all going to come down to what the teams do next as the blue zone is closing in. And of course, Titan Gaming still making that long and tedious trek all the way back in towards the zone.
And you can see it's been a very long and treacherous road just based on the HP bars there of Puncher and Axa as they're trying to reset themselves just alongside Virtual Gaming here. Now we do see 1 million just up towards the northern portion of Picardo have set themselves up in a very interesting position, because if Titans keep taking the pathing that they're going to be taking, we could be seeing that altercation there. But it looks like 1 million will be moving on, and a good reason to, with that zone shift towards that northern position.
Yeah, this is going to be a blessing, especially looking at Enigma Galaxy and the players there from Slime4KT, right? Already really well established. Anas needs to be really quick if they are looking to get themselves out of that sticky situation. Now, Umbra going to be moving in from this eastern edge. So you can see we've got Falcons positioned just towards the north. And they could find somewhat of a clear rotational passage towards that center zone once again.
It's all situated. As we can see, a massive cluster of teams from that southern portion as well, just due to that zone shift. Now Umbra, just narrowly making it into the warehouse, trying to get themselves set up. But of course, R8 applying some crazy pressure into that rotation.
Oh, and I think this is going to be an absolutely insane altercation. I'm loving the positions being held here by Umbra, keeping, you know, a good amount of hard cover for them to try and utilize it. I think this does allow quite a bit of a positional play to happen here. But looking at R8, though, I mean, also loving the side elevation they have. And this could be that extra little bit of spice that they need to find the angles on the team surrounding them. And as we can see, there are several to choose from. It's all going to come down to who's that first team to move into the line of sight.
As you can see, Virtual Gaming already taking apart a little bit of 1 million action as they move on into that zone. Coming through for that southern portion, they still have the likes of Conquerors. They still have a few more potential damages that can happen here as Virtual Gaming are going to find that confirmation on towards Venom. Now 1 million left with 2 players alive. Have to look at how they can disengage from this position.
Well, it is going to be a challenge, right? As you can see, 1 million, they've got the zone behind them. Blue zone is going to be moving forward. And already being so many phases deep, it is going to be applying quite a bit of pressure. But Lazy Boy going to try and play the more calculated position, right? Looking for a bit of an opportunity. But Virtual Gaming also no strangers to this. As we can see, one shot still having some distance to try and cover, but it's all going to come down to that great opportunity. And there we have it. It's going to be Lazy Boy to be found out. Now Marshall trying to close up a little bit of that gap, but Gaddafi and the rest of the squad here from Virtual going to be looking to just get this building temporarily under lockdown.
Oh, but the recovery needs to be here for Marshall now. As the sole remaining member of 1 million esports, they carry the banner here for 1 million. They are looking to carry that name into even further and greater heights, potentially getting some placements, but we'll have to wait and see. As we were talking about Conquerors earlier on, it is now, well, the Conquerors up against not only Falcons, but Power Esports as well, as they find themselves sandwiched here towards that northeastern side.
Yeah, but Power is still looking for a position, right? They still have a few stragglers out in that blue zone. So you can see the zone now taking a shift a little bit down towards that southern edge. Still keeping a lot of pressure into that water treatment area. But for Kurdistan, yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that position. As we know, they are within the hard cover in the water treatment area itself. But so many teams are going to be moving on towards those elevated positions surrounding them. So if I was for Kurdistan at this point, maybe look to get yourself a little bit closer to the edge and not get caught out in these buildings. But who knows? Maybe they know something that we don't. In the meantime, there's going to be congestion now coming through. A little bit of that altercation action down between Enigma Galaxy and Twisted Minds as Ragnarok comes strafing around the corner, finding a beautiful knock.
Oh, moving on in from that southwestern portion, it is going to be Enigma Galaxy fighting it out here for control of this position up against Twisted Minds. But they need to be careful. The nades are going to be going through and no connections just yet. Well, meanwhile, Twisted Minds looking just for a little bit of time to get that recovery on towards a NAS and move on forward.
Ooh, but Lord could have a beautiful nade. Oh, it comes in, it finds the hit, and down goes Dammy. Beautiful placement coming through. But now, it's up to Fidan to see if they can bring in that continuation, right? Are they going to be able to get their teammate back? Up comes Lord now, trying to capitalize on the opportunity. Gonna have to find... Oh, good angle, but instead, they wait too long to send that nade and instead knocks themselves right on down. And this is now the opportunity for Twisted Mind to come back with a vengeance.
Oh, absolutely. 2 members here down for Enigma Galaxy. And looking for the confirmation over towards Lord could mean they not only find themselves that elimination, but maybe even more time. An opportunity now to take it back towards Enigma Galaxy, potentially even take them out completely towards the side. And they definitely need to do so as soon as Seoul Esports moves on in. And Virtual Gaming gets confirmed back into the lobby as our first team of the day.
Oh, that is unfortunate. But as we know, still 15 teams left to duke it out, right? And this is where the continuation will now come through as the teams continue to look to build those positions, look to try and capitalize on whatever opportunities they can find. But still a lot of fighting. And we see the teams now, instead of focusing in towards center zone, playing a lot more of that edge position. The players there from Kurdistan also going to be the next one to fall. And with that, we are down to only 13 teams as 1 million, I believe, yes, follow suit.
Oh, for Kurdistan, they got overpowered there by the Power Squad, but now it is Enigma Galaxy that are looking to be the next ones up. Now looking for those recoveries. It is going to be Twisted Minds to take this push on forward.
Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Ragnarok comes through, swinging, picking up a double knock. Absolutely insane, and that is going to be the end of Enigma Galaxy right then and there. Twisted Mind now riding on absolute adrenaline. But just a little bit further away, we do see the players here from Seoul Esports and, of course, R8 Esports looking to prep themselves for a bit of an exchange here, right? The nades are going to be cooked up, as we can see SK Ton trying to find a good angle here to send it out. But as we can see, right, there's teams all over the place. But again, not so heavily congested, even though it's been a pretty tough fight.
Yeah, no, just those immediate drops of teams. We have seen such an array of teams now making space for themselves. I mean, Power taking that position there towards water treatment into the compounds. They've set themselves up. At least they would have if the zone didn't take the shift that it did. Now it's Soul Esports, Umbra, and Slime4KT alongside R8 that hold such a beautiful blessing into this next phase.
But it's quite a bit of a shift coming through. I mean, Power just working so hard to get themselves situated, and the zone's like, you know what, thanks, but
So sorry.
yeah, you're going to have to try that again, right? We are going to be moving you to that southern edge. And I think especially this ridgeline towards the northern edge of this current zone, where we see Slime kind of positioned, I think that is going to be quite the treacherous hill to get up to. But now Titan Gaming are going to come rolling on through, looking to apply the pressure, and there's a warm welcome being sent in. As you can see, Puncher going down. It is also then Koa who gets knocked out. Now Plaza and the rest of the side here from Slime looking to contest against the onslaught going through from Titan Gaming. As you can see, there's going to be Teak out in the open, but they get found out. Down they go. It's now all riding on Axel, the final hopeful alongside P6. But will this be enough now? Will P6 be able to bring in that extra bit of assistance?
Oh, Pronto and Plaza now trying to hold the line here for Slime4KT as P6 moves on in for the confirmations, and they need to do so. They can't give Slime4KT any opportunity to recover into the situation, but now Storm and Pronto, they need to make something happen here, while Plaza just keeps a bit of an eye out on the flanking positions.
It's all going to come down to timing, placement. Here we go. The nade is out. Could that be enough? Oh, a little bit of damage has been found. But now up comes Storm trying to capitalize on it. Finds that additional damage onto its P6, but it's not going to be sufficient just yet. Puncher now about to get raised. Up comes the nade. Could this be it? Yes. There we go. P6 now almost in so much trouble. But Slime almost on the money as they now just need one more player to try and push on through. And with that, they should be able to take out Titan Gaming. It's going to be up to P6 now. Trying to put up a bit of a defensive play. Up comes the angles, the push on forward, and it is Blaza to lock in those angles. Down they go. Titan Gaming getting sent on their merry way. And down to our final 10 teams we are.
Oh, what a disgusting but so sweet little turnaround here from Slime4KT just to recover from that situation and now take themselves even further. Moving on in from that full control of the northwestern side of the zone, they have a massive opportunity to apply some pressure not only to Twisted Minds but even towards the Power Squad. Moving on in from that northern side. Now, as we can see, Power just applying some pressure towards Nassar and actually getting that confirmation. We're down to our 9 remaining teams.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate play coming through there for NASA, but now R8 Esports still going to be looking to keep that southern edge on the lockdown. As we can see, GK now being some of the visitors they have here. But let's see what's going to be happening as the zone will move up once again, forcing the teams into yet another sticky situation. It moves further towards that northern edge, and of course, it is up into limbo, where we don't see anybody currently in position. But look at this. It is going to be Power and Falcon going toe-to-toe, looking to see who will be the one to get it sorted out. Kante now coming in with a bit of the utility spray down. Looks for the opportunity. Never alone. Also now on their knees. Oh, it is so close, but Powerful is going to be holding onto that rock, waiting for the opportune moment to strike now, sending out an absolute barrage of utility, but up comes Power pushing on forward. Yusuf never alone trying to send the info, but it's not enough as Power just comes through, flexing their way on in, but now also taking aim at the players there from Oradu Thunder.
Well, the last remaining member here from Oradu Thunder, it is Smoker that is looking just to try and hide their presence as they move on 3. And GK, what a cheeky angle here, just moving on in right up ahead of Power, in between not only Umbra and Oradu Thunders, but now they're going to take on GK here, and Power, they are just running away with the eliminations.
Yeah, Alhaji playing an absolutely insane position, but now it is going to be Kante to be found out. Smoker looking to bounce back. Yes, only one player left for the Oradu Thunders, but up they come pushing on forward. Alhaji on the opposite end, cooking up an 8, looking to see if they can find that last little bit of effort. Oh, finds a bit of damage onto Smoker, but Smoker now trying to find a good hiding position as the angles are being utilized against them. You can see the players there from R8, Soul, Twisted Mind, and Umbra position just up ahead. Now, R8 pushing forward, looking to get themselves established on towards the southern edge, but already they've been found out as they come in, and Soul Esports comes through swinging.
Oh, Twisted Minds there with a helping hand over towards R8 Esports. As you can see, just the remaining members just trying to hold on to their line of sights, moving on in from that southern portion, but they still have to deal with Soul Esports. They still have to deal with Slime4KT as well.
Oh, and that is going to be the end of the road for the Oredu Thunders. But look at this now. Weiss finds a great angle right there on towards Twisted Minds. It is going to be Dami and Ragnarok to get taken right on down. Prestige now getting caught out in the smoke as his hit markers are finding their way on through, taking so much damage. And down there goes Morteza, who lines up the hits. Now, this is going to be the opportunity for the players here from Team Umbra to come rushing on forward. As we can see, they've got that position over towards the eastern side. They've got players from Team Power in front of them. But Twisted Minds and Slime4KT still in contention for control of that western side. Now, Hemo is going to be found out. And this is quite a disruption being brought through here by Team Umbra.
And a massive opportunity as well. I mean, Team Umbra, they hold the highest number of players into this final zone. They just have to deal with Power, and they might even be dealing with Slime4KT at the same time. But now it's down to finally have from Twisted Minds to hold the line and hopefully take themselves even further up.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of work now for Slime4KT, as we know. They are so close to that zone, but still so exposed at the same time. Power just capitalizing on this slight little bit of ridge that they've got to utilize. But it's not going to be the easiest approach, right? Umbra are going to be keeping their eyes and ears open, looking for any of those pixels or sounds that seem out of place. But Alhaje has a few other intentions. They are going to be cooking up a few grenades, looking to send them on over. Slime also just trying to inch their way back into security, but I'm loving this position being played by Power.
Oh, they're just not stopping anytime soon. But of course, Umbra is going to be quite a bit of a threat moving on in from that eastern portion. But the needs are so incredibly close to just confirming Umbra back into the lobby. But now it is Power and Umbra that has the shortest line of sight into that next zone, with Slime4KT trying to keep both Soul Esports and Twisted Minds from moving further from their positions.
Yeah, who knows? We'll find out pretty soon, though, as there's not a lot of time left on that ticker, and the teams now continue to try and apply the necessary pressure. But I'm loving this kind of 2-2 split coming through, right? 2 teams towards this western side, 2 teams over towards that eastern side. But now, Fidan in a very sticky situation, trying to bring in a bit of a hill strat, but the blue zone is not going to be kind whatsoever. So I do think that Twisted Minds' position could be numbered as we now look to see what is going to be happening in towards that zone itself. Still several positions to be held here. Team Umbra now trying to get it under lockdown, and that is going to be the hits as Twisted Mind rather gets taken on down. Now, up to Power, looking to push in from the north. They've got the players here from Umbra in their sights, but BRZ stops one of the players right there in their tracks. Look at Slime going to work as Weiss gets sent away. And down to the final 3 teams we go. It is going to be Slime4KT, Power, as well as Umbra. Now all in contention for this winner chicken dinner. But Umbra definitely having a slight advantage at this point, right? It's still got 3 players up. Slime still to bring their third one back. And there we go. It is going to be Plaza now back in contention. But again, a slightly exposed position being at play here.
Yeah, Slime4KT moving on in. They're unfortunately exposing themselves here to not only Umbra, but they have to be careful towards Power as well, just on the side of them, looking now for those angles, as all of these teams are just looking for that one member, that one pixel to stand out.
Oh, and this is an absolute slaughter. Just look at the plays coming through here. Now, Slime and Umbra. Oh, looking to see who will be the team to pick up that winner chicken. There we go. The shots coming through. Absolutely insane. Now, could Slime close this one out? Yes, they do.
Very good spread out approach in terms of the points that we see here. I mean, top 6 teams picking up double-digit